The city of Cape Town says that it has added about 550 new beds to shelters that accommodate the homeless across Cape Town for this winter. It's estimated that there are more than 14,000 people that live on the streets of the city and surroundings. Authorities have recorded up to 128 millimeters of rainfall in many parts in a short space of time. Persistent rainfall this week resulted in localized flooding, defective traffic lights, electricity outages and widespread damage. Intense downpour has affected at least 10 schools. Let's discuss this. We're now joined via Zoom by Anelle Erasmus from Mold and Power Services. A very good afternoon to you, Anelle. Thanks very much for joining us here on SABC News.
Good afternoon, Flo. Thanks for having me.
You're most welcome. We know that, recently the city of Cape Town Mayor Gordon Hill-Lewis expressed alarm by the number of homeless people sleeping on the streets of the city. Do you think that the city is doing enough in terms of dealing with the homeless in the city? And I must say, and I'm sure you know, the city has been criticized over time of being, anti-poor. I think that's the narrative that has been put out there. What do you make of that?
Flo, yes, we are NGO and we run a shelter, soup kitchen and developmental services. We work closely with the city and we see them as a very important partner in the work we do. And annually, the city of Cape Town is running a winter readiness program where they try and make these beds available. But there's simply just, you can imagine 14,000 people, 500 bed spaces extra, it's just not enough. So we do need more shelters, we need more housing solutions. We are working on them, but it just seems like it's very slow. For instance, Cape Town, MES Cape Town is the first NGO that opened a safe space in 2017. It's not considered a shelter because it's really just a safe space. So people come and they can sleep, there's ablution facilities, etc. And a year or two later, the city of Cape Town with talks copied and pasted the model in the CPD under the Kulenburg Bridge. And it's great to see that we can share our resources, share our ideas and plans, and this is the way we need to go forward, but we need so much more.
Let's talk about why these plans are taking so long. I think you would agree that, the situation right now for the homeless in the city is really not sustainable. And, we can't keep having this discussion year on year every time that we hit situations like this, like for now, where we have, a cold front. For those of us lucky enough to have a roof over our heads, we're even complaining about the cold. It can't be easy for those on the street. So, let's talk about those particular long-term solutions and what are the stumbling blocks to in fact sheltering those people, whether it is, building accommodation, whether it is the issue of RGP houses. I don't know what your discussions are, but maybe you could let us in on it and what are the stumbling blocks so that we're not getting anywhere at the moment.
Yes, Flo, actually one of the stumbling blocks is us as the communities who are giving out cash at traffic lights. A study was done and the past years over 280 million rands was given out as, we call it as compassionate giving. So that's all the 5 rand, the 10 rands giving out at the traffic light, which is not sustainable. It's maybe helping that person for one day, not necessarily, because unfortunately most of the people we deal with have mental issues, there's substance abuse. So if that money could have been directed to NGOs and various city programs that specifically focus on shelters and developmental programs, by now we could have done so much more. So I also want to appeal to the public that there are many, we sell meal and shelter vouchers. So instead of giving out cash, give out that voucher, which the money goes to the NGO, and we can do so much more giving professional services than just sustaining that person for one more day on the streets, which is not sustainable. And we all want to see a decrease in the situation.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought up, what we, the rest of us as citizens, can do to assist. And maybe we should talk about it being this winter period and it being so cold. What are the most urgent needs on the ground at the moment? You point out the fact that, we might actually be wrong by, giving out money to those on the street. So, but it's clear that we do want to help. So how do we then assist? What are the most important or immediate things that we can do at this time in terms of assisting those on the streets?
Yes, Flo. The public is very important to us. The goods in kind donations, we simply would not be able to operate without them. So we're very fortunate. For the past 20 years, we've been partnering with 3 other organizations, PEN in Pretoria, Ease Hands in KwaZulu-Natal, and Towers of Hope in Bloemfontein. And MES has branches all over the city. So the 4 NGOs pulled together, and yearly we run this Hope for Winter campaign. So we have, but we also made it broader to cover the whole of South Africa. So we have a website with drop-off points all over South Africa. So if you are in Hermanus, you can visit the website, see where you can drop off blankets, socks, underwear. Most of these times, when people get to us, especially in the Cape, they are wet. So we like to get them showered and dried up and give them some soup and just warm them up. So those types of donations we always need yearly. So I can, the best is for people to visit our winterhoop.org website to see how they can get involved in their city that they are in.
All right. Anelle, thanks very much for giving us your time and certainly the work that you are doing on the ground. Anelle Erasmus is with the NGO Mold Empower Services.
Thank you.